Hello learners, I am Dr. Jasmeet Kaur, Assistant Professor in the Department of Elementary Education, Mata Sundari College, University of Delhi. Today, we are going to talk about learning styles and the pace of learning, which is not a new idea. As early as 334 BC, Aristotle said that each child possessed specific learning talents and skills, and he noticed individual differences in young children. In the early 1900s, several personality theories and classification for individual differences were advanced, and these focused especially on the relationship between memory and visual or oral instructional methods. The research in learning styles then declined due to the emphasis on the student's IQ and academic achievement. In the last half of the 1900s, however, there has been a new interest in the learning style research, and many educators are attempting to apply the results within their classrooms. These are experts who have theorized entirely different models to think about learning styles. In 1972, an educational theorist named David Kolb came up with 4 learning styles based on his work examining the stages of learning. Kolb proposed that people fall on a matrix that measures how abstract or concrete they think, while also looking at how active or passive they are while learning. For example, the diverging style. In this type of learners, they prefer concrete learning experiences but also like to take things in and gather information by reflection and observation. The second type is the converging style, someone who prefers big, abstract ideas and hands-on experiences. The third is the accommodating style. The ones are concrete and they like hands-on experiences. Assimilating style. This is the fourth type of category. They are the ones which like abstract and they are reflective learners too. Let us try to understand what are the different learning styles, but before that, look at a simple definition of learning styles. Learning styles are the different ways people understand, systematize, and represent information. Some people learn best by having information presented to them in audio form, such as the classroom lecture or audio note or audio book. Others need hands-on experiences or real-world context to fully take hold of the new concept. Learning styles are strongly associated to American psychologist Howard Gardner's work around multiple intelligences, which proposed that intellect is not fixed and that people can be smart in different ways. Some people have linguistic intelligence, giving them strength with spoken and written language. Other intelligences include spatial intelligence, musical intelligence, and interpersonal intelligence. Gardner wrote in his theory, Impact on Education, 7 kinds of intelligence would allow 7 ways to teach rather than 1 way to teach. 7 different types of learning styles. This is what we are going to discuss now. The types of learning styles explain the different ways in which students prefer to learn and process material. The 7 learning styles are the visual learning style, in which they prefer information to be presented in graphs and pictures. The second is the auditory learning style, in which the students prefer to listen. Third is the verbal learning style. The students, they work well within written information or spoken word. The fourth is the kinesthetic learning style, in which they learn best through movement and hands-on activities. Fifth is the logical learning style. They think mathematically and systematically and use a lot of reasoning. The sixth is interpersonal learning style. They work best in groups and through collaboration. The seventh is intrapersonal learning style. They prefer to tackle tasks on their own and reflect often. Now we will be talking about each learning style in detail. The first is the visual learners. Also, visual refers to spatial. So these learners learn best when they have an image or cue to help them process the information. They may also need to map out or write out their thoughts in order to really process what they are thinking. Now, what are the common characteristics of visual learners which a teacher can look for in the classroom? The first is they have a good spatial sense and a sense of direction. You can send them in school anywhere to fetch something. You bet they will find it out in minutes. They can easily visualize objects, plans, and outcomes. They usually like coloring, drawing, and doodling. They have good color balance. They are good in using maps and rarely get lost. So, they don't need the Google Maps. You can rely on these types of learners. For example, a visual learner in a writing class may process the information better by seeing a movie clip of how a film adapts the literature it was based on, instead of listening to the literature being read aloud. In a classroom, teachers should often look to students' learning style as a guide to help them make their lessons more effective. A visual learner likes how a visual depiction, like information graphics, makes big ideas accessible through colorful, clear depiction. Second type of learning style is auditory learning style or the oral learning style, or you may read it as musical learning style also. Oral learners is a unique type of learning style, but it is used to classify those who respond primarily to sound. Unsurprisingly, most musicians are oral learners. This is a learning style that isn't often addressed in many schools because it is hard to teach outside of the music class. These are also individuals who respond best to things such as binaural beats. What are the characteristics which you look for in the oral learners? They find that certain music invokes strong emotions. They enjoy listening to music in the background while learning. Yes, you can play any soft music, you can play any number, and you won't believe that they can learn the theory, they can do many math sums also. They have a good sense of pitch or rhythm. They often hear songs, jingles, and themes tend to pop in their head without prompts. For example, a song that helps you remember the alphabetical order of all the states is a way to tap into oral learning styles. Yes, they make many mnemonic strategies in a rhythmic form, like in case you have to talk about the planets, they will make a rhythm and they will make a song on the first letter of each planet, and then they can remember all the planets. Same is the states of India. They will probably make a song and they will remember all the states with their capitals, and the teachers might be amazed at their lovely performance. They prefer learning through rhythms or tend to use clever rhymes to remember something. Auditory learners take in information best when it is spoken or heard. These are the people who get a lot from classroom lectures or talking things over with a friend. They also tend to explain things well, so they do well on oral exams. Some even say that email falls under the auditory category because it mirrors human speech more than other forms of writing. The third category is the verbal learners, that is the linguistic category. The verbal learners learn best both under verbal instruction and writing. They typically excel with both. These learners are typically those that go into public speaking, writing, journalism, and debating. What characteristics does a teacher look for in the verbal learners? They express themselves both in written and spoken word. They enjoy reading and writing. They like tongue twisters and rhymes. They have a huge vocabulary and enjoy learning new words. For example, reading definitions of a word aloud or writing them down a few times are ways for verbal learners to process information. They also need to read content aloud to learn something or prefer to have someone speak the information to you so that you can process it. The fourth category of learners is the physical learners. Physical here is associated with the word kinesthetic. Kinesthetic means movement. These people are the ones who like getting their hands dirty. Then you are likely to be a physical learner. If you see a child in your class who likes to paint, who likes to do activities with sand and other material, it means that type of child is a kinesthetic learner. The physical learners are extremely animated and always need to be moving. They learn best by doing through the motions of what they are learning. Notice and appreciate the physical world around them, such as textures. Yes, this is what these children do. They enjoy sports and exercise along with outdoor activities and working with their hands. They tend to use and pick up on body language. They enjoy making models or doing jigsaw puzzles. For example, if something is bothering you or you are trying to wrap your head around a concept, you would rather go for a run or a walk than sit down and figure it out. They don't learn until you do it. Yes, they need to draw and your own diagrams or role play to learn new information. You may also constantly be in motion and speak with your hands. The fifth type of category is the logical learners. Logic word is associated with mathematics, so these types of learners are also called mathematical learners. Most logical thinkers end up being engineers, mathematicians, or pursuing the sciences. This is because they have a very unique way of learning. They are the individuals who want to understand the reason behind content or skills and tend to enjoy games like chess and doing brain teasers and also Sudoku. The common characteristics are they classify and group information together to better understand it. They perform complex calculations. You cannot beat them in algebra or trigonometry. Yes, they are very fast in doing calculations. By the time you will be opening the calculator on your phone, they will be doing the grocery bill without using a calculator. They create procedures for future use after coming up with a solution to a problem. They plan agendas and itineraries and even rank and number them. For example, those who prefer making a neat and organized list while studying and extracting key points from material for these lists are typically logical learners. They can learn something only when they understand the bigger picture along with the logic, reasoning and systems better than the concepts. The sixth type of category are the social learners or the interpersonal learners. Interpersonal, as the name suggests and as the name social learner suggests, they like socializing. They are the natural group of workers. For students, these are the individuals that seem to be involved in every extra co-curricular activity. For adults, these are the individuals that like to be engaged with others, work in teams, and ask their peers for feedback in order to learn. Some common characteristics which are shown: they prefer to socialize after work or a class. They enjoy playing group sports. They bounce ideas off others and to work through issues in a group. They are very good listeners and are often trusted by others for their advice. For example, in school, when teachers assign group projects, it is often a way to appeal to social learners. And yes, the other group members listen to these type of children. They prefer to work with other people and find out that they learn best in groups. Seventh type of category of learners are the solitary learners or the intrapersonal. Solitary means being with yourself. They like being alone and working on their own. Solitary learners are individuals who simply prefer to learn on their own and keep to themselves. In most situations, this is a learning style for socially introvert people, but not always. There are some people who are extroverts in social situations but prefer to be alone when they are trying to learn. They also tend to be concerned with goals and outcomes. What are the characteristics what the solitary learners show? They spend time on self-analysis. They prefer to relax or travel from the crowds. They think independently. They write journals, they write their diaries, record personal thoughts and events as a way to improve. For example, someone who reads self-help books to develop a deeper understanding of themselves is often a solitary learner. They need to sit alone and study by themselves in order to retain information. While visual learners prefer graphic representations of information, read-write learners are the ones who love to learn from the written word. They are the kind of students who can read a textbook and can be ready for the test. This often makes them strong students, as much of school is about being able to get information from different texts. They are also the kind of people who like dictionaries, quote books, and reading everything which is available on the internet. Likewise, read-write learners get just as much from writing as they do from reading, and writing notes and flashcards are a good way for them to study. Now, the kinesthetic or the tactile learners. There are lots of students who fall in this category. They are the students who prefer to connect what they are learning with real life experiences. They benefit from the concreteness of what is presented to them. Often, kinesthetic learning is defined as using one's hands and doing an activity, like learning to drive by actually driving, or learning about computer programming by actually playing around with a computer. Similarly, if they want to learn any musical instrument or they want to learn any new activity on the computer, they will sit in front of the machine and they will do it rather than reading the theory about it. They want to learn guitar, they will pick up the instrument and start playing it. They will not read the theory behind it. They can also benefit from just thinking on how a concept is applicable in the real world. Now, what is pace of learning? How do these 7 types of learners they learn? Is the pace same for everybody? What are those factors which focus on the various types of learning? Every child is special, we know that, with unique combination of abilities and needs that affect learning. All children deserve the opportunity to learn in ways that make most of their strengths and help them overcome their weaknesses. In this part, we will try to understand what is pace of learning and why is it different in children. These days, children are computer wizards and carry on adult-like conversations. Doesn't mean that they are fast learners, but we need to understand that every child is unique in the class. There are individual differences in my class, and there are talents. As a teacher, we can harness those talents in children. There are certain factors which play a very crucial role in learning. The intellectual factor. The term refers to the intellectual mental level. Success in school is generally closely related to this level of intellect, but some students face difficulty in mastering schoolwork. Sometimes pupils do not learn because of the special intellectual disabilities also. The teacher needs to understand the limitations of individuals, and it determines the effectiveness of learning process. So, we need to understand that all children in my class will not be at the same pace. If I have taught a topic in a particular way, some might be able to learn, but I have to change my way of teaching so that the other type of learners also benefit. The second is the learning factors. Factors owing to lack of mastery of what they have been taught. Faulty methods of work or study. The third is the physical factors. It is generally noticed that the poor health of the child retards physical and motor development of children, and malnutrition interferes with learning and the physical growth of children. The health of the learner will likely affect his ability to learn and his power to concentrate, and will affect his pace of learning too. The next are the mental factors. The efficiency of the work from day to day and the rapidity with which it is achieved are influenced by the mental factors or indirectly the attitude of the learner. A favorable mental attitude facilitates learning. The factors of interest is very closely related to the nature to that symbolizes drive and reward. The next is the emotional and the social factor. Personal factors such as instincts and emotions and social factors such as cooperation, rivalry are directly related to the pace of learning. The sixth is teaching pedagogy. The teaching pedagogy plays an important role in learning. The way in which the child is taught affects the pace of learning of the child. The seventh is the environmental factors. The efficiency and pace of learning will increase if the place in which the learning takes place offers the right kind of environment. Since every child learns at different pace, our classrooms need to be set up to support effective individualized learning with teachers taking on the facilitator's role. A few things which a teacher can do is that the classroom can be divided into several learning areas, including the teacher-supported area, the peer-supported area, the self-learning area. Children learn at their own pace, following a learning ladder with movements corresponding to each concept. The child should be assisted by a variety of learning resources, including the teachers, peer games, and traditional resources such as local songs and puppetry. In the peer learning area, students should work and learn from each other, which makes it possible to instill democratic values at a very young age. These few things will certainly help to increase the pace of learning in children. In this module, we learnt about the various types of learners. Yes, the 7 types of learners which we might see in our classrooms. What are the characteristics of those learners? How those learners can be benefited maximum from our classrooms. As a teacher, we need to keep all those things in mind. We also taught you what are pace of learning, what are the different paces of learning, how the child can learn maximum in the classroom. There are various factors which affect pace of learning. As a teacher, we need to keep those factors in mind. And yes, if you keep those factors in mind and also the learners in your class, definitely a child will be a wonderful learner. He will be learning throughout your class, throughout the year, and would fall in love with your pedagogy.